Alrighty guys, so we just got Gunther, and now we're gonna help out the dwarves. So we're gonna go to Caravan of Carnage, which is an optional quest. The gratitude of the dwarves is greatly valued, so Stefan and his army must escort the warriors of Grundag and their cargo safely home. Fight. Alright, so we cannot take all our heroes, so let's take the brother Gunther. We leveled all our units now, so I'm gonna take the Knight's Panther. And then the rest will be handgunners, more handgunners, even more handgunners, and then these guys. Should I do that? How about I remove one handgunner? Take the flagellants. I'll merge those with brother Gunther. We don't, we cannot carry a gun around, so this is what we'll have to do with. So I was thinking to myself about the setup of this game. I kind of like it, but I myself prefer to be on the good side, and well, of course, good side, yeah, which one is the good side? If you're an orc, the orcs are the good side. If you're a human, the humans are on the good side. But I prefer to call them like the forces of light, which in this case would be the humans, and the dwarves and the elves. I like that you have 3 different campaigns. So I start off with the humans, but how my experience works when I play a game is like humans play first, and then after that you play the chaos side, which is the dark side. But then for me it's like you're playing the humans, you fend off the demons, you win. But then when you play the demons, it's a different story that runs beside it. But for me it more feels like, okay, this happens after the light story. And since I want the light story to win, I usually prefer to play them as last, because then everything that happened, in the end, humans are victorious, end of story. There was a game, I think Warcraft III did that pretty good. You started with the human campaign, you switched to orcs, you switched to undead, I believe. And then in the expansion, at the very last one, I do believe that's the human campaign. And so you end up with the human campaign, so they are like the victors in the story. In this one, you play humans now. I'm playing humans first, then I play chaos, and then I play orcs. So, and then for me it's like open ending, because the orcs win, or like the orcs is the final story, so they are like the victors because you beat the campaign of the orcs. But then I would like to play, you know, another campaign of humans to settle things with the humans, and they are the victors. Not sure if that makes much sense to you guys, but that's how I feel at least. Alright, so we got caravans. Grudge throwers. These things are cool. I read about these things. Basically, these things hurl stones. They write grudges and curses on stones of their own fortress. And then when they're out of ammo, they... or not out of ammo. When they need ammo, they tear apart those walls with the grudges. They load them up in these things, and they literally hurl their grudges back at their enemies. Which is kind of cool. Alright, you guys mount up, you guys mount up. You guys will be team 2. You will be team 1. Let's go. I'm not really sure if there's enemies coming from the back as well. Ah, so we got greenskins this time, alright. Alright. Well, this is not what I wanted. I want you to charge those guys. Nice, now they are. I'm not sure if these guys can also come from the back. Trying to catch the item though. Come on. Run them over with my cavalry. There we go. Gotta keep somewhat close to these guys. Team 1, you guys go there. I like the sound of the goblins when they flee. Right, take these guys down. Orc armor boys. Is there more enemies here? There are more enemies here. Just gotta finish this quickly. I'll take it down quickly. Is that the last one? That is the last one. Is there an item in there? There is. Alright. Now follow up with these quickly. So I'm not sure if there's more troops coming from there. I'm going to scout ahead with my cavalry for now. Gotta stay somewhat close to these, because I have a feeling there's more coming. Alright, so we got another group here. It's quite a big group. So you're, you know, I'd be focused on these guys here, and then all the while they could ambush me from the back. No, retreat for now. Can I heal? Target hero. Alright. Let's take these down. Can I get that gold, please? Gold, perfect. Checking this corner here. Nothing here. Alright. Can't recharge those guys. Oh wait, there is something there. Can I run these guys down? I can. More armor boys over there. Pop the Storm of Steel. Alright, that's one down. Quickly grab the potion. There's a lot of enemies here, actually. Run this guy down. It's just one of them. Get that item. Perfect. There's actually a lot of them here. Lances down. Poke him. You guys charge these. You're getting trampled underneath my cavalry. What is yellow? Those are the dwarves. Right, let's run them over. Gotta watch out for these flagellants. I can't have them get killed. Come on, run back. Crap. I lost my flagellants there. What is killing them? Something is shooting them. Oh, don't tell me that dwarven cannon killed my units. We did pretty good. Though we did lose our flagellants, unfortunately. That will be okay. Like in all Warhammers, I'm not gonna reload my game. If they lose, that's fine. In this game I can just buy new ones anyway. It's a bit of a shame though, what happened at the end. Right, I'm not sure if we have to go in here or the caravan has to. Alright, seems the caravan has to. What we got here? Dwarf warriors. Dwarf hammerers. These guys look kind of cool. I mean, it's definitely a visual upgrade above Dark Omen. How about these knights? Face me. There we go. So Stefan is also... No, he's wielding a sword. I thought he was also wearing a lance. Alright, these look pretty cool. Bunch of handgunners. I like how these huntsmen refuse to stay in line. Like, these guys are nicely lined up, and these guys are like, oh, we'll do whatever we want. I kinda like how I can heal, but I can't heal units, unfortunately.
That's a grand job you've done, lad. Those orcs will have a rough welcome if they try to attack us again.
Can I have a regiment of dwarves, please? That should make up of my loss of the flagellants. I do believe I get a regiment of dwarves, but I'm not sure. You are victorious. Right, units lost 52. Here we can actually see units killed, units lost. Wish we could go into a little bit more detail, like which units killed how many. Loading. Alright, so the next stop is that town slash castle. I don't think it's a siege. I think sieges are only at the end of the level. I have to rebuy my flagellants. Not sure if I'll level them up, to be honest. I just want one of every unit. I don't necessarily need to max level them, but definitely if I get the dwarf warriors, I would definitely use them. Because they're a sturdy bunch. They probably have a lot more health. To show their gratitude, the dwarves offered to help Stefan. A dwarf hammerer regiment and a grudge thrower team joined Stefan's army. Sweet. Aren't dwarf hammerers like normally the elite guard? The bodyguards of the king? Didn't lose much else of my units, just that flagellants that got wiped out. Here we go, let's read about them. So they got 2 hit points, 41 attack speed, damage, movement speed, resistance is 7, so they're very sturdy. There we go. Hammerers are the king's personal guard and are so accorded in high status within their stronghold. They are very skilled warriors and personally selected by the king himself. If a dwarf should prove himself courageous enough over the course of many battles, he may be selected to join the Hammerers. Skill, strength and courage alone, however, are not enough. A Hammerer must willing to give his complete loyalty to his liege and dedicate himself to totally protecting him from harm. Amongst the folk known throughout the world for their stubbornness, Hammerers are regarded as being stubborn by other dwarves. Duty to the king and hold is a sacred thing to a dwarf. A dwarf bound by oath to serve a king will give his life rather than face dishonor or failure. A king surrounded by his hammerers is the keep in the center of the throng. Grim-faced, unyielding and immovable, the life personification of the dwarfish spirit. The symbol of the bond between a lord and his hammerers is the weapon they carry. Each bears a heavy but perfectly balanced great hammer. It is the gift of the hammer to the warrior that seals the oath between him and his lord. In battle, the sight of great hammers rising and falling around the king's banner is an inspiration to the rest of the throng, who will typically redouble their efforts to keep up. So this happened to me several times in the Warhammer series. These are the personal bodyguards of the dwarven king. Then is it okay for them to leave the king and join me? I mean, I'm not complaining, these guys are pretty good. In Shadow of the Horned Red, the king sent his hammerers along with a magic hammer to destroy the men here at the end of the game. And in Dark Omen, they didn't really show up. But here I get them again, personal bodyguards. And then we got the dwarf grudge thrower, let me see. Even after the war, there was no peace for the dwarves, as holds after hold fell to the greenskins or redmen. New chapters were added to the Book of Grudges every year as the dwarves fell back to the surviving holds. They brought with them the stone fragments of their lost realms, and reviving the older customs, inscribed them with runes and describing the injustice done to them, and laying curses upon their enemies. During the long siege of Karak Azgul, the dwarves used these stones as ammunition, literally hurling their grudges back at their enemies. Since then it has been commonplace to carefully select and prepare the stones that are to be fired. With many skilled engineers, they espouse their belief that the engine is only as good as the rocket throws. So yeah, this is what I was saying. These things literally hurl rocks with grudges on them. That's why it's called a grudge thrower. Pretty cool. How is its range? Range 40? Range 85? Range 70. So does this increase as well as it levels up? I don't believe this thing had 85 from the start, did it? How is its attack speed 1, damage 1? Alright. So let's go to this thing. Kleistendorf. I think this is just a city. Yeah, so it's not a siege. These mean city. Gotta remember that. Alright, don't need anything here. Enter armory. So these guys are all leveled up. So are these. So are these the hammerers? How much gold do I have? 7.7k. These can be upgraded as well. Oh crap. That one. Excuse me. Then we got the barracks. Great swords. These are new. Let's buy a pack. We had the pistoliers, we had the panthers, we had the huntsmen, the hunt gunners, we have these. What is this? A mortar. I'll take it. And we got a captain. Sure, I'll buy him as well. 5 heroes, Jesus. Fortunately, I can't buy flagellants. So I guess they're gone. Alright. Too bad. Life goes on. So let's read about the captain. And then the great swords, and then the mortar. Captains are seasoned heroes with the Empire army. 2 of their heroic actions are well known throughout the Empire, as they are often sought out because of this. Often leading regiments, the captains inspire the men in combat and use their extensive knowledge of command skills to turn the tide of battle, leading the Empire to victory. The captain is easily spotted with elaborate armor and some of his finest weaponry. Right, so this guy will be... Let's make this guy full duel. I'm only gonna use him in duels then. There we go. He will be my duelist. Next up we have the greatswords. Members of greatswords are personally picked by the elector counts from among the champions of their troops. To gain such a promotion, a soldier must distinguish himself in the eyes of his commanding officers or accomplish some heroic feat of arms and survive the experience. Greatswords form the garrison of the Count's castle and their personal bodyguard on the battlefield, equipped with deadly two-handed swords and superb suits of full-plate armor made by dwarf smiths. Greatswords swear to never give around to the enemies of the Empire and protect the Count at the cost of their own lives. The history of the Empire is rich with episodes where these brave soldiers were cut down to a man in a last stand around their Count after all the rest of the army had been defeated. Such devotion is well rewarded, as veterans of this elite corps are sometimes knighted, a great honor for a humble warrior. And then last but not least, the mortar. More squat than great cannons, mortars lob shells high into the air, which then fall amongst the enemies. Instead of a solid shot, mortars fire hollow shells topped with a fizzling fuse and filled with black powder. Shells explode in the heart of a target regiment, sending fragments of burning iron skiving through enemy ranks, killing whole swaths of warriors at once. Yeah, actually, mortars are pretty good. Right, so enter barracks, no. Enter the armory. Let's upgrade these guys as well if we can. These are pretty expensive, but we'll manage. And then we got the mortar crew. These usually are not too expensive. There we go. Let's go to the land of the dead. According to Gunvar, this is the area. This area is the haunt of the vampire who slew Mandrit's champions. The land themselves seem to be drained of life, and the sky hangs leaden overhead as nothing stirs in the withered fields. A scent of death carries over the breeze, a sure sign that foul work is near at hand. Alright. Well guys, we just beat a mission. We got some new troops. We lost one troop, unfortunately. So, we'll continue our video in the next episode. So I'll see you guys there. Till then.